Well, I'd like to consider myself as an all-round musician. I am primarily a bass player, but I'm also a vocalist as well, arranger, composer, songwriter, and a producer. I like to wear as many hats as possible. Well, I can say I've been very fortunate and blessed to have worked on quite a number of studio projects, and ones that come to mind, most certainly the one that definitely comes to mind first is my first time in the studio recording with my brothers, the Rusike brothers. We recorded our debut single at the time, which was Saturday Night. Those very fond memories. And certainly my band Jazz Invitation, our debut album, The Rehearsal Room. That one was wholesome, unforgettable memories too. And worked on quite a number of studio projects with my brother Louis Mhlanga, which were all memorable. And of course, recording with the Cool Crooners. We recorded the album Blue Sky, which was quite successful in France. So there are numerous, but those are the ones I can remember offhand. Live projects, numerous to mention, but I can single out quite a few. The first being on stage with the late great Oliver Mtukudzi. He had such an enormous, admirable personality and presence. When he walked on stage, you could actually feel his presence, and such an amazing musician. Unforgettable moment there. Touring France with the Cool Crooners. We toured France for 30 days, from the north to the south of France. An amazing experience too. And certainly performing with the Lucien Phillips Band, who I performed for 3 consecutive summer seasons. First one was in 2017, where I did the summer season with them in Ibiza, Spain. Then again in 2018, we did the summer season again, but this time in Mallorca, Spain. And then a short stint after that in Gran Canary Islands in Spain. And then the last one was another 6-month summer season in Ibiza, Spain in 2019. Well, again, I must say I've been very fortunate and blessed to have worked with a wide spectrum of artists from all over the globe. Within Zimbabwe, definitely the first person I can mention is the late great Oliver Mtukudzi. We worked on a couple of studio projects. Numerous individual musicians, Prudence Katumeni Bofana, Owen Chimuka, Tamiswa Chirema, Patience Musa, the list just goes on and on. Those are some of the musicians, notable musicians I've worked with locally. Outside Zimbabwe, I enjoyed my studio experiences working with Ray Phiri. We did a studio project sometime back in the 90s. That was another memorable experience. So I've been fortunate enough to work with a lot of artists within and outside Zimbabwe as well. Being a musician for me has been, will always be, and still is one of the most enjoyable experiences ever. I get to travel different parts of the globe. I get to meet different people, learn about different cultures, learn how people relate and coexist with each other. So I definitely wouldn't change that for the world. Well, let me put it this way. There are quite a lot of things that I'd like to see changed in the industry, but let me narrow it down and angle it from the musician's point of view. In my view, from the musician's point of view, we need to be a bit more attentive to what we're giving out to the public, to what we're giving out to the audience. One of my mentors, Mr. Steve Roskilly, always taught me this famous motto, which has become, my famous motto now. This is ATD, attention to detail. I'd like to see us as musicians paying more attention to our craft. In whatever we give out to the public, we pay more attention, that we give 110% and make sure that the product that we give out is of our utmost best. So attention to detail. Jazz Invitation, or as some people call it, JI, has been in existence for over a decade now. It originally started off as an idea by the legendary drummer Sam Mataure, who called this concept the Moving Jazz Cafe. And basically what it was inviting different musicians, different jazz musicians, to come in and perform as the Moving Jazz Cafe and performing around different centers of Zimbabwe, Harare, Bulawayo, and most notably Mutare. This continued for 4 years, and when Mr. Mutare decided to emigrate to South Africa, where he decided to continue his professional musical career, I took up the name of Jazz Invitation and still maintain that concept of getting different musicians to come in and, if you call it, learn their trade there, pass through the ranks of Jazz Invitation and embark on their solo career. So in JI's lifespan, we've had a number of musicians leaving and venturing on and becoming successful solo musicians, notably Philbert Moroa, who's now an accomplished jazz musician, Owen Chimuka, Prudence Katumeni Bofana, Patience Musa, Bernie Bismarck, V. Mukarati, all these passed through JI and now have embarked on their own individual careers as well. Well, I'll always be excited about my solo projects because every musician at some stage likes to go into the studio and create music that comes from the heart. So far I have 2 solo projects. The first one, the bass-inspired solo project called Collaboration, which was basically collaboration with some of the musicians I've enjoyed working with. So I managed to do that project with them in the studio. And more importantly, I'm excited about my new CD, Ikosore, which is also a collaboration with different musicians from across the world. So that one is also available. All my albums are available on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, etc., etc. No regrets whatsoever. I'm getting to tour different parts of the world. I'm getting to meet different people, learn about different cultures. I'm getting to do what I enjoy doing most with a passion and still get paid for it. I give thanks to the Almighty every day. God is good all the time. And I just like to say the journey continues. There's so much more left.